In this edition of City News, find out why residents got a chance to hop into spring with something new. Also see where in Hawthorne COVID vaccines were administered. Plus, we'll show you how Hawthorne is trying to help local homeless. These stories and much more coming up on City News. Hello and welcome to City News. I'm Jennifer Murillo. Spring is here, and with it, especially this year, comes change. Now that the city of Hawthorne is in the process of reopening a little at a time, they held their first major event. HCTV's Lauren McKay hopped in to take a look.
Happy Easter, guys! Happy Easter!
Change is in the air.
This year, after COVID, we've had to rethink how we do things.
That rethinking got the city to reimagine alternatives to hop back into action.
This year is a new year, 2021, woohoo! 2021, and so we're here, we're ready, and we're excited because it is our first event of the year.
Starting with this. A drive-through bunny bonanza with a free meal.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you for coming.
You're welcome. Thank you. Thank you for your service.
Ice cream, basket of goodies, and of course, a snapshot with the Easter Bunny.
It's wonderful. It's amazing. My kids were so excited to come and have a little Easter fun since everything's closed.
The perfect event to get kids out of the house for something fun.
Very happy because the kids are still sad because they can't see their friends or go out.
It's not just about getting out of the house or going for a ride. Perhaps the biggest question of the day is what exactly is the little surprise that awaits them inside?
Yay, Easter!
It is good to see the children smiling, especially now they're starting to go back to school.
Speaking of school, the city found a way for kids to learn a bit more about Earth Day, which also falls in April.
While they're having candy and they're enjoying all the blessings of the day, we snuck in some educational material into their reusable recycle bag.
Checking off one of many more events the city hopes to host throughout this year. For HCTV, I'm Lauren McKay.
Be sure to keep checking the City of Hawthorne's website for more events throughout the year at www.cityofhawthorne.org. Hawthorne senior citizens were given the opportunity to get a COVID vaccine. Reporter Kata Moeller visited the Memorial Center and has the details.
We've all heard of Pfizer and Moderna, but here in the city of Hawthorne, they're making things easier with the one-and-done Johnson&Johnson vaccine.
Providence Community Health partnered with the city of Hawthorne to administer over 200 vaccines amongst the community, with seniors given priority.
We were working together today with the Hawthorne Senior Center, so they helped us identify a lot of these folks.
The entire process was relatively quick and participants were satisfied.
Everything was so smooth. Checked in, they had the paperwork ready for you. Everybody was attentive and it moved very efficiently.
Mayor Alex Vargas came by to receive his vaccine and to encourage community members to stay safe.
It's a very painless process. I expected more, but it's very simple. I was sat down, you feel a little prick, and then you just walk away and you really don't feel much. So it's very easy, and I encourage everybody to do their part to be safe.
In addition to bringing relief and support to community members, Providence's mission is also to cultivate a better understanding about the vaccine to ensure optimal safety.
Barrier is just sometimes the lack of knowledge on the vaccine and a lot of the hearsay and a lot of the things that people think it is, but it's really not. So we're also working on educating folks, not just vaccinating them, but educating them, letting them know what it is, what it's good for, and how it's going to benefit them and protect them.
Those who came by the clinic want others to know the importance of being proactive about getting vaccinated.
So many people have gotten it, and this is just something we need to do for each other and for ourselves and for our families. It needs to be done.
After receiving the vaccine, patients are asked to wait in the clinic for 15 minutes to be monitored for any potential reactions. Nurse Melissa Punos said it's a joy to see community members coming in to get vaccinated.
And certainly as a nurse, caring for and helping others in fighting against the virus, really, it's the best job.
Officials are still encouraging those who have been vaccinated to keep wearing a mask and practicing social distancing. With HCTV, I'm Kayla Moeller.
For more information about where and when to get vaccinated, you can visit myturn.ca.gov. As vaccines become more available, a local center was able to bring some to an underserved community. St. Margaret Center partnered with Housing for Health to provide free COVID vaccines.
Today, Housing for Health is here administering COVID vaccines to individuals experiencing homelessness or formerly homeless.
A lot of vaccine places are drive up. You need a car, and it's really hard for people who don't have cars, so it's really nice to be able to bring the vaccines to the people.
There were about 20 vaccines available, and no appointment was necessary to receive the vaccine.
We want to make sure that they are given the vaccine, given such vulnerability of being on the streets.
It feels so good because we know that this population really needs this, just like we all do. Vaccines are so important right now, and I know that like other populations that, they did experience COVID, and so just that to have the opportunity to do this for them is tremendous.
St. Margaret Center is also working with the Department of Public Health to get more vaccines in the future.
They're giving us slots every week for just general population, but people who are eligible for the vaccines, and we're making appointments over at the forum every week.
Those eligible individuals who have any trouble making the appointment at the forum can contact St. Margaret Center and they will help assist you. For more information on St. Margaret Center and signing up for the COVID vaccine in the coming weeks, call 310-672-2208. The city of Hawthorne has been working hard to help the homeless in the community. Reporter Kayla Moeller met up with the Hawthorne homeless coordinators on a community outreach trip.
Housing insecurity has only intensified over the last year due to COVID-19, but the Hawthorne homeless coordinators are out in the community doing whatever they can to combat it.
Hawthorne's homeless coordination program partners with St. Margaret Center to provide services such as care coordination and community outreach to people who are facing housing insecurity.
We fulfill street and outreach engagement tactics by going out to people experiencing homelessness, and we pass out items, speak with them, hear their stories, and offer them the resources that they deserve.
The common everyday items they provide are hygiene packs with things like toothpaste, deodorant, soap, and feminine hygiene products, snack packs with non-perishable food items, and depending on the season, they also provide sweaters and blankets. In addition to these regular items, the pandemic has created further need, and they could always use donations.
COVID-19 mask or mask PPE is always a good item to have. Also hand sanitizers and water. So the more the merrier. Right now we are focused a lot on item distribution.
Apart from handing out physical items, the homeless coordinators also offer an open ear to hear people out and understand and address their issues as best they can.
People want to be heard, and people also want to be checked in on. So that's a big piece of the work that we're doing, and also building that trust and that self-esteem and that self-efficacy with them.
The coordinators have built relationships with their homeless clients, and the pandemic has been really tough on their engagement.
We need to keep our distance. We're unable to, we've created a bond with most of our clients. We can no longer shake their hand. Some of these clients need a hug, and we're not afraid to hug them. We're comfortable getting that human contact. We can no longer do that.
The program's goal is to get people into temporary and then permanent housing. It's a process, but they've been seeing success.
We were able to provide interim housing for 3 of our clients, a mom and a pregnant a daughter. We also did additional 2 clients that we were able to get off the street.
While visiting an encampment, I was able to see the relationships firsthand.
It's real helpful, especially the lunches. And be right on time for most of us. And just wanted to say thank you. Appreciate it.
Residents can also help the homeless right from home by visiting an online portal called LA Hop. The portal includes an outreach request form for residents to fill out when they notice any homeless who look like they may be in need of assistance. They'll provide information on their whereabouts and any specific concerns they see. They prioritize those who may be experiencing a medical or mental health crisis and approach them and all clients with care and understanding.
We have to be very patient with our clientele because we don't know the type of day they might be having, or we don't know the traumatic experience that they might be going through.
The LA Hop portal has been further helping them identify people in need of help, but they also keep a map in their office of where homeless folks tend to be.
This is our map of Hawthorne, and we use it as a strategy map so we can identify hotspots in the city and also identify people who are living in these encampments in the city, and also the reasons why they're going out and switching from one area to the other.
The homeless people have embodied their own sense of community, and they depend on each other to keep their spirits high.
Everybody come together, and no matter what race, creed, color, we manage to get along and try to make the best out of nothing, so it's cool.
The homeless coordinators go out into the community with the food, snack packs, and hygiene kits every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. For HCTV, I'm Kayla Moeller.
To access the Homeless Outreach Portal, visit www.la-hop.org. Coming up next on City News, find out why schools are using plastic dividers on a daily basis. Also, see how to prevent from falling victim to being robbed. There's more news ahead. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Some students and staff from the Hawthorne School District have returned to in-person learning. Reporter Kayla Moeller visited Eucalyptus Elementary as they welcomed students back.
Don't let this empty schoolyard fool you, because the Hawthorne School District is back in session and the kids could not be more excited.
There was a lot of positivity coming from students, teachers, and parents as kids were being introduced back to campus. Eucalyptus Elementary Principal Mike Goldstein says safety is their top priority.
Making sure that we're on top of our safety protocols, making sure that we have staffing in the correct areas, that our staff is trained, that our classrooms are set up, and it's a lot of moving parts. But like I said, we've had a lot of time to get ready, so it's been challenging, but it's also been really rewarding.
While the kids are back in person, there have been some changes to comply with COVID regulations. Different grades are being introduced week by week and are divided into cohorts with different arrival and pickup times. Playground supervisors are there to implement any safety rules.
We're reminding them 6 feet distance, or we encourage them some signs like airplane signs, bring your arms up, so they will know and remind that we have to keep 6 feet of distance.
Hawthorne School District has leased refrigerators for each of the classrooms for a grab-and-go lunch process. And while they don't have a normal recess, they are scheduled outdoor time slots for exercise. Parents have the choice to send their child back to in-person learning, and for some kids, the socialization of in-person learning is more beneficial.
I feel good knowing Jack's back to school, and I believe that he learns more, being in school, learning.
Upon arrival, each student goes through a screening process, including a temperature check and COVID questionnaire for the parents. Even with a list of new protocols, the kids are just excited to be there.
A lot of them that I spoke with and the parents are happy to be back in school, so that's the main thing, is getting everybody back, trying to get some semblance of normalcy.
For one student, he feels like getting to come back to school is getting him back on track.
It feels like I'm going back into my childhood.
The classrooms are set up with desks 6 feet apart and a clear barrier for each student to minimize germs. With HCTV, I'm Kayla Moeller.
In addition to the temperature check at the school entrance, students have a second check at the classroom door for extra precaution. There's been a series of thefts involving a particular car part. Tony Long Jr. has the details.
Catalytic converter
Most people have no idea where it is located or what it does on their cars, but some individuals have learned it's a source of money.
People will climb under a vehicle and cut out part of the emission system, and there's precious metals in there that they can then sell to someone who can extract those precious metals.
Not only losing the converter could hurt the vehicle, but the victim's pockets as well.
The cost for someone to replace it usually runs into the thousands.
There are a few ways that citizens can protect their vehicles.
If you have to park on the street, park where there's lighting, or if you know someone who has cameras in the area, you can do that. There are also aftermarket products that can either be installed DIY in your garage or your driveway, or some things that are a little more advanced that need to be done at an actual muffler shop.
Hawthorne City Equipment Division mechanic Irvin Gomez goes under the vehicle to show us where the catalytic converter is located.
This one, it'll be hard to steal because it doesn't have an easy access as the other cars that they've been sitting more often, like the hybrid cars, Prius or lifted trucks that have easy access to steal.
Hawthorne Police Sergeant Scott Nichols states that the department has cracked down on theft crimes involving catalytic converters the past 6 months, catching 6 to 8 people who had stolen or were in the act of stealing it. For HCTV, I'm Tony Long Jr.
For more information, visit the Hawthorne Police Department website at www.hawthornepolice.com. As students are adjusting to going back to school in person, it is important to know how they manage all this time with distance learning. Air Tutors is a program that helps keep students engaged and thriving, especially amidst the pandemic. Here's Cedric Walton with more.
Thank you, Jennifer. I have something special here for you today. I'm here with everybody helping promote distance learning amidst COVID with a group called Air Tutors. I have Kelly Santos, who is the superintendent of Cincinnati Union Valley School District, Hassan Ali, the founder of Air Tutors, and Ashley Hernandez, who is a freshman at Lusinger High School. I want to start with Hassan, who is actually the founder of Air Tutors, and just talk about the genesis of the program and how it's helping so many students here today, especially amidst COVID.
Yeah, for sure. I was tutoring in person, but I lived from one family. I lived about 10 miles away. And, you know, good old LA traffic, it took about 2 hours to go that 10 miles away. And then right when that parent found out it was taking me 2 hours to get there, she was like, Hassan, we can't do this. We have to transition to the online format. Let's just give it a shot. I'm not going to make you drive this long. So right when we switched to the online format, her level of engagement, her daughter's level of engagement just skyrocketed. And me and the mom were like, what the heck just happened? Why is this working so well for you? So we sat her down and she said like it felt like a strange video game. And right when she said that, it just made so much more sense to me because, you know, I was making live animations, I was using vivid colors. So as a chemistry instructor, I no longer had to say, imagine the electrons orbiting the nucleus. I could actually drag and drop and make it animate it around the nucleus. So it was just all that level of creativity. And then, you know, the mission of Air Tutors is to advance global learning so that all students have an amazing educational experience. And from there, I ended up dropping out of medical school, giving my mom a heart attack. And here we are 5 years later with this awesome group. So thank you, Cedric, for having me.
What's the end goal? Do you want to partner? How many schools are you partnered with now? Where do you want to see it grow in the future?
Yeah. So, I mean, you know, I think, the end goal is really to ensure that all students have an amazing educational experience, regardless of where they live. If they live in highly urban areas, if they live in very rurally located areas, no student should be able to say that I did not have access to AP chemistry. I did not have an amazing educational experience.
And Kelly, you being the superintendent, I know you created the partnership, the bridge here for some of your students in your school district, and you actually partnered with Air Tutors just last year. I want to know what went behind that idea. How do you think to bring this technology and this type of tutoring system to your students with virtual learning?
Definitely, thank you. So we had heard about Air Tutors' partnership with a couple other local school districts, and the feedback was really phenomenal. So we knew that we already had a really strong transition to distance learning because as a high school district, we had already invested for years in one-to-one technology for our students. So when we had to pivot last spring, we were able to do so, can definitely not say painlessly, but much more easily than maybe some other districts that weren't as prepared on the technology side. However, as we saw our students continuing to struggle with all the other stressors involved in distance learning amidst the pandemic, we knew that we needed additional academic support for our students outside of our school day. And the only way to get that at this moment while we were in distance learning was something that was based in remote learning with a really robust technology platform. And so for us, that's when we decided that we wanted to partner with Air Tutors. And we did that in December, just before the end of our first semester. And they really jumped in and started helping our kids even over winter break, particularly those students who were in danger of failing courses. And so we were really able to work with a strategic plan to target those kids most at need with that additional support.
How have you seen it help some of your students? Or like, we know we have Ashley here who's going to tell us some of her success stories. How have you seen it being a benefit to some of your students, even now with school starting to reopen?
Definitely. So I think for us, one of the really powerful things about how Air Tutors operates is on their end, they're definitely it's a true partnership. So they're collecting input from students like Ashley and her parents as well about how the process is going, what's been successful, what hasn't. And so that has really helped us to gauge really the effectiveness of this partnership. And I think that overall the feedback that we're getting from students is positive. And many times it's because it just provides them with that additional support or another voice.
And Ashley, I just wanted you to just briefly, can you talk about your experience at Air Tutors, what it has meant to you and how it has helped you grow as a student in your first year of high school?
Air Tutors is definitely amazing. It's definitely helped me during these past months. My grades have definitely increased thanks to Air Tutors, and it's very fun joining them, helping me, and really fun.
Any student that you can say that this has benefited you for, what would be your advice to them as far as taking this up for their classes?
For the students that need help, I highly suggest Air Tutors. Air Tutors is amazing. They will literally help you with anything.
I want to thank you guys for joining me today, and I appreciate the things you guys are doing for students and helping really transition the learning process for everyone in midst COVID. Thank you for your time again, and back to you, Jennifer.
Air Tutors has bridged the gap for students and institutions in the virtual world and are available nationwide. For more information on their programs and services, check out airtutors.org. There's a special program that could have you saving and earning money while also protecting the environment. Reporter Lauren McKay spoke to the West Basin Municipal Water District to give us more about their program. Lauren?
Thanks. I'm joined right now with Gus Mesa with the West Basin Municipal Water District. Gus, thank you so much for joining me and talking through things. Talk with me about your recent program, about educating people on what they can do to conserve water in their homes.
Sure. Good morning, and thank you for having me. Our most recent program at West Basin is called our Change and Save program. And that is a program for residents where residents can receive a free water efficient online survey. They can receive a free water conservation kit, and also they can qualify for a $500 high efficiency clothes washer rebate, which is one of the highest rebates in the country right now. A typical clothes washer could cost around $600, $700 for a high efficiency model. So this $500 rebate goes a long ways to helping a resident purchase a high efficiency clothes washer. So residents can participate by coming to our website at westbasin.org to learn more about this program.
When it comes to conserving water, how important is that here in Southern California, especially given just years ago there was a drought, right? So
Yes.
are there efforts to prevent that from happening again?
Yes, great question. We're currently into a second year of drought conditions. The Metropolitan Water District of Southern California, they're the largest water supplier in Southern California. They are also called MWD, put out a press release stating that we're into the second year of a drought. It's very important to conserve and be water efficient right now. They've invested a lot of money in infrastructure and in reservoirs, supplies, water supplies so for this year, we're looking pretty good because of all the investments that MWD has made with West Basin support, but we don't know what's going to happen next year if the drought continues. So that's why it's very important to always be efficient with our water use. And that's why West Basin has these programs to help residents, restaurants, commercial facilities conserve water. We have a lot of different programs available at westbasin.org.
What's the difference between the usage of like an older faucet or shower head versus the shower head that you would be providing? How much less energy does it use?
Yes, older shower heads can use 2 to 3 gallons per minute. The new ones we provide use 1.5 gallons per minute, so about half. So they can help conserve about half their water by just installing a water efficient shower head that works just as well. So
yeah, I'm sure people might wonder, am I going to lose my water pressure?
Yeah, they test these. There's an organization, well, the EPA, the Environmental Protection Agency, has a program called WaterSense. It's a labeling program, a testing and labeling program. It's much like on the energy side. You probably have heard of Energy Star products, Energy Star washers that conserve energy. Well, on the water side, the EPA has a program called WaterSense, where they label these products so you know they've been tested and they can get the shampoo out of the hair, and they work very well.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so very much for taking your time to talk through all of it with us, and hopefully we will be conserving even more water after this.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you. Take care. Bye-bye.
You too. Bye-bye.
To learn more about the Change Save program and more ways to conserve water in your home, visit www.westbasin.org/change-save. When we return, we'll show you what new skill these girls are learning. One of the goals of the Power Project is to teach young girls valuable skills that they can take with them. Ernesto Giles has more.
You make a circle with your thread, and then you're going to loop it through a couple times.
Penny Bottomley and other volunteers donated sewing kits containing measuring tapes, needles, and thread.
Lamika would like to have the girls be adept at doing some things that they might need in college, like sewing on a button or mending something, hemming something.
My mom said that when you're sewing, when you're learning to sew, you can just learn it in an hour, but that's not true for me.
It may not be easy at first, but a valuable life skill that Power Project Director Lamika Bell wants to instill in these young girls.
You're learning a new thing, especially when it's something that's going to help you in the long run, and it's always a life skill that you could always use. It's a wonderful and beautiful thing, and this is what the Power Project is all about.
A lesson not lost on these girls about becoming more self-reliant when faced with challenges.
If you have a hole in it, you're not always able to afford a new pair of pants, so you really need to know life skills such as sewing a hole closed.
I think it teaches a lot of girls how to do things, and hopefully they'll remember that and they'll bring it with them wherever they go.
Lamika Bell says that they will continue to hold more life skill workshops for the girls in the future. Ernesto Giles reporting for HCTV.
For more information on the Power Project, visit their website at www.powerproject.org. KTLA 5 is celebrating remarkable women in our communities. Elena Meloni from the New Star Family Justice Center was nominated and is one of the top 4 2020-2021 nominees. Elena, thank you for joining us.
Hello, everybody.
How does it feel to have been recognized on national television as a remarkable woman?
Well, when I was first contacted, I was obviously very surprised, but very honored as well. And the emphasis, of course, has to be on the work that we do here at the Family Justice Center, and that is working with victims of domestic violence.
You're one of the 4 nominees for this year. Are you excited to find out if you won the crowning of Nexstar's Women of the Year?
Well, it's very exciting, of course, but at the same time, I had a chance to meet some of the other ladies who also been nominated, and they are doing tremendous work. So honestly, the person that wins will be the best person to represent. But I think all of the people that were nominated, I think they are doing very good work.
Talking about great work, what is it that motivates you to keep doing what you're doing?
It's the families that we serve. For us, it's mainly women and children. They come here at a time in their lives when it's total chaos. They have situations of abuse. Department of Children and Family Services is involved. The police departments are involved. The courts are involved. It's a very scary time, and they need help. And our program fits the services that they need. And we're very happy that we can offer this. We hope that we can continue to do this for a long, long time.
And what are your plans in the next 5 years?
Well, definitely, I can't wait till COVID is over because we have wonderful facilities. As you know, we had a grant a couple of years ago that allowed us to move where we are now. But the clients are not able to take advantage of those facilities. So that's the first thing that I'm hoping for. Secondly, is to continue growing the program. And hopefully we can open other family justice centers right here in District 2 and as well as in District 4.
Well, thank you so much for joining us today. And we will definitely be keeping an eye out to see who is crowned.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
For more information on the New Star Family Justice Center, visit their website at nsfjc.org. Sometime this month, KTLA will also be announcing the winner, so we'll keep you updated. The City of Hawthorne Community Services Department and the Parks and Recreation Fine Arts Commission are looking for artists of all skill levels to help beautify city park trash cans. Requirements are that artists must provide necessary materials, must be Hawthorne residents, and must submit a color rendering of the proposed artwork. For more information on the Trash Can Beautification Art Initiative, call 310-349-1640. That does it for this edition of City News. Thanks for watching. If you have any story ideas, please call us at 310-349-1630 or email us at hctv@hawthorneca.gov. Don't forget you can watch City News online on YouTube by searching Hawthorne Community Television. We'll leave you now with more footage from the Hawthorne School District reopening. See you next time.